This is the 615 Podcast with your host, veteran realtor and entrepreneur, Nick Woodard.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the 615 Podcast. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a video stream with my good buddy Mike Cuevas on his podcast called Your Marketing Dude. Mike is he unknowingly helped me create the entire brand for myself. The 615 hat, the boots, the jeans, the local guy that grew up here that doesn't wear suits, all that came from Mike. He had a podcast a while back called Your Marketing Dude, it was Your Real Estate Marketing Dude. And I just learned so much from him about being authentically you and getting in front of the camera and showing people who you really are. So I stumbled across Mike's podcast probably, 10, 12 years ago. All it talked about was building your brand, presenting yourself, as who you are authentically. And I learned that people want to work with people they know, like, and trust. And that all came from Mike. So, for the first half of my career, tried to play the whole luxury agent persona. Agents feel they need to play in order to sell luxury real estate, but I hated it. And it wasn't me. I'm not wearing a suit unless it's a wedding or a funeral. And I'm not rubbing elbows with people at a gala or country club. That's not who I am. But from learning some things from Mike, I learned you can still sell a lot of real estate by being who you are and not having to play that role. And so most people are looking for a real estate agent to represent them. They tend to gravitate to like-minded people. And to be honest, you just work your ass off and focus on serving others and not focus on the money. And I learned that from Mike. So I'm pretty excited to have this interview with him. He played a huge role in shifting my career, and I'll forever be grateful. So let's get to the interview with my buddy Mike Cuevas.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Your Marketing Dude podcast. Folks, if you've been joining the show or you're back on a relaunch of the episode, the only thing we do here is talk about attraction-based marketing. How do you stick out? How do you do this? How do you just get seen and differentiate yourself online? So a lot of this stuff is with personal branding or whatnot. And the guest that we have today, I've watched. We've become friends, actually. I think originally, I don't even know how we met.
Yeah, brother.
It sort of happened organically, I believe. Like, we sort of just met on Instagram. You came on the show. We hit it off, and we sort of been in contact ever since. But reason why I wanted you to come back is because I love what you're doing, and I love how you're doing your podcast. I don't know the effects of it. That's why I wanted to do this interview. Sure. Everything you guys are listening to this right now, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. But I do know, and I'm guessing that the podcast you launch in Nashville is working well for you. So we're going to talk about how you can launch a local media series, a local podcast series, turn heads, get attention, and ultimately attract business. Because if you're not creating content, it's impossible to build a personal brand. And if you can't build a personal brand, it's impossible to run a successful business, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our guest, Nick Woodard.
What's up, my
615
friend?
Agent. Hey, tell everyone hello. You are a return visitor.
Yeah, man. So first and foremost, like, before we get started, I need all your followers to know that you're the real deal, man. Like, you know what you're talking about. Your strategies completely changed the trajectory of my career. And, I know you don't really, you probably don't know the outcome that you've created. When I just first started listening to your podcast a while back, it resonated with me and it completely changed my life. So, man, I appreciate you, brother.
Is that how we met? We were a listener on the podcast.
I was a listener.
I think you just emailed me and you're like, dude, I want to come on the show. Was that?
Yeah.
So you guys could come on the show if you have a good story there's no, like, it goes to my inbox. Like, there's no, like, gatekeeper or anything like that. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I told you I've been listening forever and love what you did and how it changed my life and want to get on and talk about it.
So you launched a podcast yourself in Nashville, right? And
I did.
615. Yep. When did you do that?
Well,
what year, what time of date? I just want to see. I want to track the story. It was
probably 4 years ago, I was doing it on my own, just kind of recording it and then having a producer put it together. And then shortly after that, this was, I don't know, probably 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I got with my producer who has a studio and worked out a deal to where I was like, hey man, let's get this going. Let's get video content. Let's get after this. Again, my podcast is very different. It's not straight real estate. I know a lot of really cool people here in Nashville, got a lot of really cool clients, friends, connections. And it's just letting them tell their story. Everything from well-known people to local cops, man. Just let them tell their story and what it's like living here.
So this is really smart. Because here's what most agents are going to say right now. They're like, what do you mean you're not talking about real estate? I don't want to share people's stories. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, how is this going to lead to me selling more homes? So take it away.
Well, it's basically what I learned from you. It's, people want to work with people they know, like, and trust. And how are they going to get to know you if you're not out in front of a camera or providing some sort of value? So the whole concept of my podcast was to give my people a platform, but also, have some sort of long form content that you can then break down into short-term content, whether that's YouTube clips, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the things. So basically, have a producer put it all together. He sends me the film and then I break it down and put it into, social media and what I want to use and where I want to use it.
I like it. And what was your mindset when you first created this podcast? Because you guys, podcast is just another form of media. If you're listening to right now, this is media. Okay. But this podcast will be chopped up. After the show, I'm going to send Nick a bunch of short form clips. He's going to be able to promote those and send them out himself. But it's media. It doesn't matter what form of media you're creating. Media could be social posts on pictures and just images on social media. It could be long form content. But you're in the habit, what we're talking about is just creating media. It's attention. And when you put yourself at the center of it, things just sort of, I'm guessing things started to happen because you are now controlling the conversation.
Correct.
Right? Before, you're chasing the conversation when you're just a real estate agent chasing checks. Because let's be honest, we're always looking for that next deal. It's the only career that you start out basically unemployed every single morning you wake up, right? And you have to think about where that next client is coming from. And so many people, the reason why the failure rate's so high in this industry is because, you sort of hit it on the head. We chase leads versus chasing relationships.
Exactly.
Because behind every relationship is a referral and a human and a family and a network of people that they can introduce you to. What's your average sales price in your market in the 615?
Now it's definitely changed. When I first got started 20 years ago, it was, selling 150 to 300. Now, we're at, 1.5, anywhere from $1 million to 2, 3, 4 million. And that's a lot of that reason is you're
good. Your friends start making more money, didn't they?
Yes, that and it's you just in this business you grow exponentially if you do it right. You don't have there's no past client. Every person you've ever worked with needs to be someone that you maintain a relationship with. I'm not a salesman by nature. I'm not out trying to make sales. I'm trying to create relationships and have those people love me enough and know that I do a good job enough that they refer me to their friends and family.
And anytime you do a favor for someone, like in this podcast, people probably, I'm guessing they come away after you do an interview with them, they're probably very grateful. Thank you so much, because you're creating content for them.
Yeah, they love it.
Something that nobody knows how. They're probably like, thanks, right?
Sure.
How's the relationship post podcast? I've generated a lot of business just from our guests on the show. Some things lead to other deals. There'll be people that I've never met before, and also we hit it off in the show, much like you and I did. And then we'll end up doing a deal or doing something on the side, right?
Right.
So what are you seeing happening from these guests, and how often are you publishing first is the first question. How many podcasts do you do a month?
Well, we try to do one a week. That's not always the case. Like I was telling you before we got on here, it is deer hunting season down here. So I have not been in the studio as much as I've been in the woods. And but again, that's That's who I am.
I bet you
That's
put
what
that
I
on
love.
social.
So,
You make an Instagram post, be like, sorry, no podcast this week. I'm in the woods. I'm out of the studio. This is how you play the game, though, right? That's content.
Well, yeah, and I learned this from you, is being raw and authentic in who you are. I've got a post or a reel pinned on my Instagram page. It's basically, okay, what's it like living in Nashville or living in Middle Tennessee? And being on video allows you to show your personality. I've got that video pinned up there that is, it's me shooting guns, my kids shooting guns, fishing, hunting.
I think I know the one you're talking. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, and I've picked up probably 6-7 clients from that video because they see who I really am. Now, of course, am I going to deter some people that don't want to work with, a country boy in Middle Tennessee? Possibly, but I'm attracting those people that are a lot like me, and those create easier, better transactions because you get along with those people, and those are the people that are more than likely going to refer you to other people. Totally.
Every person lives somewhere. It's not like a matter of if they move, it's when. It's mathematical. Right. You guys, like, I don't know what is in your market, but traditionally it's 4 to 7 years across the country. And if you just apply notoriety, attention, content to the relationships you have, it's just a math game. Now, have you seen, I'm going to assume, yes, you're on the podcast talking about it, but let's talk details. You started the show 4 years ago. I'm guessing the first 2 years you fumbled through it, maybe did a sporadic episode here and there.
Of course.
And then you took it seriously, right? Where you're like, because the difference is consistency. Right. And when you apply consistency to your content, that's typically what I see is when the light bulb changes and everything changes. Right. And it's not the content, it's the consistency of the content. That's what everyone forgets, because no one here remembers a video they saw yesterday.
Right. Now, the cool thing about podcasts, especially, make sure you get video of your podcast. If there are weeks that go by that I don't record a new one, I can still go back to an old one, cut clips that I haven't used before, and apply that to social media. So you're continuously staying in front of people, even if it's not a brand new episode. I'm not in this to grow followers on my podcast. Yeah, it'd be great. I'm not the next Joe Rogan. Ain't gonna happen. However, it does allow you to show your personality and use that for content elsewhere.
Do you talk any real estate on it?
Yeah, a little bit. I've interviewed.
How do you like subliminally suggest, hey, I'm an agent, don't forget, because there's got to be some of that in there.
Sure. Well, on the intro to my podcast, talk a little bit about, I grew up here, been here since 1988. After I graduated college, I went straight into real estate. That's all I've ever known. I'm just, a local guy that, grew up here, knows a whole lot about this area, and we'll tie that in a little bit. Like, I've interviewed some of the top agents in Nashville that they're all my friends. Now, I'll say this is where I do things a little differently than you do is, we're probably, 50, 60 episodes in. Everybody I've interviewed, they're friends of mine. So it's this, we're talking. I've yet to interview anybody that I don't know. Now that may change things. Having conversations with people you don't know and don't connect with, but if you can get 50, 60, 70, 80 people, they're just interesting, just sit down and have a conversation. Let them tell their story. Just be entertaining.
Everyone has one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everyone has one. Tell me about the relationship after the episode.
Again, they're all my friends. So, just maintain that contact, continue to just be a source of value for these people. Again, you're not out there constantly selling. You're out there providing value for them, whether that be entertainment, whether that be, sure, we'll talk about numbers on occasion. That goes into a lot of my social media and email marketing and stuff like that. But as far as the podcast is concerned, it's just getting to know the people of Nashville and letting them tell their story.
I like it. I'm on his Instagram, and if you guys want to follow Nick, it's Nick Woodard, Realtor is his handle. But as you go through his page, what you're going to see is, he's got his podcast episodes sort of sprinkled in between his other content, right? And what I like about the podcast thing, and it doesn't even like matter. It's the fact that like there's this mic here, right? Like if you're just watching this and there's this mic here and all of a sudden I'm an expert.
Well, a lot
I
of
could be
people
talking about Sesame Street, dude. It doesn't matter. Like no one's gonna know what I'm talking about.
But again, a lot of people
because
are
I'm on a
terrified.
mic, everyone's like, holy he's like, holy shit, that guy knows what he's talking about because he's a podcaster now. Dude, I'm just talking, bro. It's like there's just the only difference is there's a camera on and there's a mic right here. And a lot of times this scares people away from doing this, or it makes them intimidated. But if I didn't know you and I landed on your page, you instantly get authority credit from me. Like anybody who lands on your page and be like, this guy's a fucking authority. He knows what he's doing. They don't even know what you're talking about yet. This could be a hunting podcast for all we know. It could be about 615 deer hunting. Nobody knows, but I want to know.
Good idea.
That's actually a cool episode. Yeah, you could do that. The best neighborhoods near deer hunting. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's
there's a lot of people in Nashville that are outdoorsmen that have money to spend. So
the top five neighborhoods for the biggest hillbillies with the largest shotguns. Go. That would do well. I bet.
There's some white trash for money here in Nashville.
That's funny. Sure. So let's go to the multi-purposing. So you're just interviewing people. I'm sure a lot of them own businesses or whatnot.
Yep.
Now let's talk about like the other side of it, because I like the relationship nurturing. I think you guys get that now. Nurturing relationships, and we're just creating media to stay top of mind. So that's goal number one. But you could record a podcast. This is like a lot of agents will shoot a video, but then they don't distribute it.
Right.
And the same thing happens with your podcast. You can record a podcast, but if you don't tell anyone there's an episode or you don't re-promote it, like it doesn't grow. So walk me through what you're doing after the podcasts are shot, and what's your strategy there?
Yeah, man. So basically we'll take, I've got a fantastic producer here in town, Jim McCarthy, and he will video and record these podcasts. He'll put it all together, put it on the podcast platform. And then when I get it from there, I'll put it on YouTube, and then I'll also break it down from there. Now, I'm sure there's a lot more technological ways to do this, but I literally just play it on my phone off YouTube and screenshot the segments I want. I'll take those segments.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'll take those segments. I'll throw them into a caption generator, throw some captions on there. Then when I post them, it'll go to, again, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then I will put links back to the episode from where that clip came from. So you're repurposing over and over and over again with different clips.
So check out, I just shared with you, and this is for you guys as well, I just shared with you a site called opus.pro. Opus.pro is an AI tool, like almost made for podcasts. So I'll take this episode, I'll drop off the long form content in there, and it's going to automatically cut up with captions about 15 to 20 different clips that I can also schedule and send out through just one app. So per episode, I could get like 4 or 5 clips within 10 minutes and scheduled and out. Check out Opus Pro. So like, and this goes for anybody listening, that's a really good tool to cut up your content and spread it out there if you don't have the capacity to have someone doing this for you. And that goes for any video though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can go to all your old videos and do that.
Yeah. I mean, you're way more technologically advanced in this era right here than I am, but I kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy rewatching my YouTubes. I'll sit down, pour a nice glass of bourbon, and kind of break down what I want, save them in my phone, and then schedule them out, let them rip when I feel like letting them rip.
Are you making that like a story?
Yeah.
Like the act of creating the podcast? Yeah. See, so everything he's doing, you guys, he's like
document everything.
That's all it is. He's just documenting.
And the crazy thing I have learned about social media is there are clips that I'll put out that I know are going to gain attention, and they don't. And then I'll put stuff out that I think is absolutely goofy, and you'll get 100,000 clicks on it. I put out
the stupidest.
Yeah, I had
crazy.
Had a client move here from your neck of the woods out in California, and we basically had a podcast talking about, okay, what's the difference in living here and living there? We got into favorite burger joints. I did a clip of us discussing our favorite burger joints. I had 100,000 people on TikTok arguing over the best burger in
Was
town.
it In-N-Out versus?
Yeah. We just got the In-N-Out. It opens up like next week here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be another video like that. See everything that we're sort of talking about here. Let's just take this as an example. So you're interviewing a client, walking through. Most people and most agents would just sell the house, close the deal, not even send a closing gift. You're going out and beyond because, let's be honest, most people, they don't provide customer service in this business, in this industry, and that's half the battle. But you went above and beyond and asked them, and that solidified that relationship. Have you generated any reload referrals from that same person?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Reload.
How many?
In Nashville right now, reload is probably the most important demographic you're grabbing, because we're having a lot more people come here than leave here. So it is very important to get out there and get your face out there and grow your brand like you talk. Your branding is so important. That's the thing that changed my life is, my first couple years in real estate, you wear the suit, you try to do the thing. I'm not the guy that you're gonna see at a gala rubbing elbows with people. I wear suits to weddings and funerals. I learned from you, be who you are. I'm just a guy that grew up here. I wear jeans, boots, and a 615 ball cap, but I sell a lot of high-end real estate because I get those people that are like-minded that want to work with me.
Good. The reason why you can't, like we said, if he was wearing a suit in his podcast, you'd probably look like you're constipated because you'd be super uncomfortable. Which is just you can't fake it until you can't. Anything like with any content. There's no longevity to it, and that's what I think. I don't know. This is the title of this episode, but you have to be authentic and you have to be yourself. And until you are, that's the only time this works. And my experience, we just branded a guy out here. We branded him so I started a little team out here, and it's basically like a real estate company, but it's a media company. So I'm testing this sort of model here, and I'm seeing if I'm going to roll with it or what. But I have a handful of agents that come on our team, and I create their brand, and then I do all their videos, I run their ads, and I blow them up. So I have one guy, and this is a cool case study. This shows you to be yourself. So I have two people that sort of played it very simple and very safe, if you would, on their branding, right? Like the typical real estate agent logo or whatnot. But I have one guy who really wanted to adapt it, and he's a former culinary guy, he's a chef. So now he's the San Diego real estate chef. I just built his website, and he's always given a flavor of San Diego. Now this is a reload, and this is somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of doesn't have a huge database. We have 120 people that I'm nurturing. That's it. We don't have he doesn't have a lot of notoriety. He doesn't have a lot of history. He hasn't sold a ton of homes yet. But I had to call them just yesterday, and dude, he's got 3 multi-million-dollar deals in the pipeline.
Yeah.
We've only been running ads for 30 to 45 days in one of the worst markets ever. And what he said to me was, what I thought was going to happen, I was just waiting for it to happen. So my hunch is on, but he goes, Mike, I've been working on this guy for 4 years, family friend that owns a oceanfront condo. It's probably a $2 million property. And literally he told me 2 years ago, if you bring me a buyer, I'll sell it. Sort of like the thing everyone says and don't really take you seriously, right? Like, bring me a buyer, sell it. Fuck off, Johnny. That's basically what they're saying to you, right? He called him back and he goes, dude, I'm seeing you everywhere. I'm really thinking I think this is the year we're going to go ahead and list that condo. And I think we're going to go ahead and move. And then he's going to buy a replacement property in Point Loma, which is the most expensive area in San Diego. So it just goes to show. And he goes, this is what he said. That's profound. He goes, dude, you must be doing really well right now, Mike. That happens so much. The perception of media and content creation, everyone thinks you're killing it. And that branding is what can't get out of people's head. And that's what will equal attraction. But the reason why I think it's working is because he's willing to step outside and be a little bit different.
Yeah, you have to.
Right? He's
willing, you have to find,
like you are. The 615, I love that. The dude is my version of doing that. But what's your version of doing that for you listening? Because the days of John Smith, licensed real estate agent, I believe are numbered. And the same thing happens in the legal market. I do a lot of attorney work now. Attorneys are just like realtors. They just wear more suits.
Yep.
Their branding and their marketing is identical. There's a million of them. And you're like, what's the difference between you and all the rest of the nincompoops in your market? And it's content creation and it's brand. Every single
100%.
time.
And it's showing who you are. It's showing your authenticity. So my goal is I want people to know me before they meet me. I want them to know what they're getting. You know, my ethics, my values, my personality, all the things. And I'm either going to be a good fit for you or I'm not. But I learned that you're going to gain more people by being you than you are going to lose people.
Yep. Jack of all trades is a master of none. That applies to your brand too. It's not just a saying.
100%.
You have to be yourself, man. This is awesome, dude. I think we got everything out of here. Create your podcast, distribute it, multi-purpose it, keep going, rinse and repeat, nurture your relationships, but stay top of mind is ultimately name of the game.
Well, man,
Nick,
I'll tell people, well, I've been doing this for 20 years and we didn't have all of these platforms and all this technology and the ability to reach out and touch people like we can now. Newer agents that asked me, Nick, you know, what would you do if you first got started? I was like, I would get in front of the camera and get on social media. Yeah. People that do that are leaps and bounds ahead of where I was when I first started. So I'm just now adopting this, 15 years into the game, and it's by far the most profitable thing I do to create business.
Yep. Because it's attention and you can't get any more. Video isn't the thing that generates the lead. It's just the most impactful way to communicate. And the more of it you have, the more impact you make.
Absolutely.
That's it. So don't overthink this process, you guys. Whether you're going to create a podcast, whether you're going to create media, whether you're going to create videos, whether you're going to create a YouTube channel, it doesn't matter what flavor you pick, but you got to create something. And whatever that is needs to be real to you, and it has to be consistent. If you can apply that, and you could apply that content consistently to the same audience over time, you will eventually attract business from it, period.
Yeah, do not be afraid to be yourself. Do not be afraid to be yourself. I have many people contact me from the West Coast that are like, man, the stuff you put on Instagram, excuse me, that's what living in Tennessee is like, isn't it?
You could go to church, you could shoot guns, kill deers.
Yeah, it's a great place.
That's funny.
But it's all I've ever known.
Love it, man. Why don't you tell everyone where they can follow you and where they can find you if they want to learn more. If you guys have any, if you're listening to this, maybe you have a client you want to reload into Nashville, send them Nick. You're in good hands. As long as you agree with his gun shooting stance, that is. So
it's okay. You don't have to, but it is what it is. Yeah. So I've got the podcast, the 615 podcast. Instagram is at Nick Woodard Realtor. Website is nickwoodard.com. I've been doing this 20 years here in Nashville. It's what I was going to do till I figured out what I wanted to do and decided, you know what, this is what I'm going to do.
I like it. Well, you're doing it and you're doing it right. Keep going.
Appreciate you, brother.
Don't stop. And that goes for you guys. Appreciate you listening to another episode of the Your Marketing Dude podcast. If you like what you heard here today and you feel like you need to get up and start creating content, get off your butt and start generating attention, well, we will script, edit, distribute your videos, and run your ads. I have several different services and offerings and different levels that you can enroll with. But what I'm really good at is marketing your entire sphere of influence, staying in front of them and keeping you top of mind. If that resonates with you, I want you to visit my website, go to yourmarketingdude.com, watch the videos, schedule a demo call, and then start marketing your sphere more consistently. See you guys in the next week. Peace. Bye.